I'm about to turn 29 in a few weeks, and I should be out here thriving, embracing life, twerking on people, but I'm still out here struggling with social anxiety. Like tonight, there is a New Year's Eve party that my friends have graciously invited me to go. But the thought of being surrounded by people I don't know, it is already making me feel so exhausted, and I would really like to cancel. But the problem with faking it is that I'll go to these parties, smile, make surface level small talk, and leave this party with nothing meaningful. So now my own actions here are pushing me into this corner where I'm that kind of person who shows up to every gathering but really has no real deeper connection to anyone. Honestly, that kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's not something that I feel driven to seek out. That survival mode that I grew up in and many other people also grow up in, similar forms, different tastes, it doesn't just disappear. Patterns are hard to break. And sure, I can suppress my anxiety when I need to for work, but in those moments where it's just about connecting with someone, I freeze because I'm stuck in this constant debate. Do I fake it knowing that it will leave me disconnected, or do I risk myself and potentially face rejection? And honestly, even now, I don't know what the right answer is. Being myself feels like an uphill battle because for so long, it wasn't safe. And changing that narrative, it takes more than a few good experiences. I guess it takes years. It wasn't really until college that I met people who saw through my awkwardness, who didn't care if I stumbled over my words or just looked foolish. They were just happy to know me and patient with me as well. So here I am with my cat and my dog. She's sleeping. I'm almost 29 and still navigating this. Sometimes I wonder if I should challenge myself to improve, push myself to talk to more people, but then I stop and think. For me, being social has to mean wanting to connect, not forcing it. But that's also where it gets tricky because I've also become comfortable not really going so deep into relationships and putting forth that effort, because at least then there's no potential for any issues or a lost friendship or any of those things that you could lose in the future at the cost of great and fun moments, of course. Being social isn't like practicing any other skill. You mess up with someone and that impression sticks. People will judge you from that one moment, and changing it later, impossible. But maybe that's where I get it wrong, because after all, most of us are still just fumbling through this. Maybe the goal isn't just to fix it, but to just be kinder to myself when I feel that way. To stop trying to force myself to fit into places where I don't belong, and focus on building connections that feel real. But I'm still not sure. I've thought a lot about where this all started. I think a lot of people constantly do, thinking about why they are like this and maybe why they don't appear as social as other people. Growing up, understanding someone's vibes or how to really talk to people wasn't really exemplified for me. Growing up, the vibes at home was just straight up yelling and anger and many other unfortunate things. But specifically in terms of that communication, it wasn't yelling that led to healthy debates. It was just straight attacking the other person. So when I say arguing, it's not about just people trying to uncover a better path by talking about it, you know what I mean? But instead, what I saw was just straight arguing, where it was about the person's character, who they were, things that they necessarily may not be able to change about themselves, and otherwise other things that are just core to who they are as a person. And to be insulted at that very level, I mean, that was the daily example for how people should treat other people to me. In that type of environment, everything is worth arguing about or bringing up into a fight. So surviving into that type of situation meant not showing any emotion or really giving any way to cause any fight. For example, if I was sad, I was told how ungrateful I was or how good I had it. So I learned to hide it all. I mean, I built this neutral sort of blank personality that let me survive the nights at home. Talking about no emotion, no risk of being targeted. And when I did try to let it out, when I tried to be me at school, that was punished too every time. I mean, school is a place of learning. It's not a place for necessarily socializing. But that was also the only place that I as a kid could express myself. Yet, it was also an inappropriate place too. And so I had no place to be myself. Eventually, I just stopped trying, right? Become this productive member of society, which sounds like a win, but it comes at the cost of joy. Just get your work done, just try and do it, and then people will like you because you get work done. You know, it's not because of who you are. It was because you performed well. But I don't want my work to be what validates me or gives me a reason to be here or to even have relationships at all. But really, I'm not sure. Just sharing my thoughts and trying to figure this out. Thanks for listening.